Good morning, I'm Jacqueline Matter. It is 4 a.m. on this Tuesday, August 4th. Thanks for starting your morning with us right here on Fox 5 and streaming on Fox Local. Here's what's happening today. Breaking overnight, an arrest in connection to those devastating wildfires in Washington state. What we're learning about the suspect and the new video of his capture. Plus, it is primary day in Virginia. The polls open in 2 hours. We're live in Fairfax County with what is at stake on the ballot. And the fallout over the reflecting pool continues. What happens now after the U.S. Attorney's Office for D.C. dropped vandalism charges against several people? Your news at 4 starts right now. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday. Glad to have you here with us as we get the morning started. And Taylor, feels very pleasant out there this morning as you head out the door. Not too bad for, I guess now, August.
I know. It's hard to believe it's August. And yesterday was so humid for some of you. We had some showers. We had some storms around for some, too. Today is looking like one of the more drier days for sure. So we'll still have the cloud coverage around. It will be warm and the humidity, it will still be there. It just won't be as humid as what's to come in the coming days. Looks like Wednesday will turn more unsettled again. We'll have the chance for some showers and some storms throughout the daytime, and then we'll have the chance for severe weather towards the end of the week. So I'll have much more on that and the timing coming up. Jacqueline?
All right, Taylor, we'll talk to you then. Well, police have made an arrest in connection with the devastating wildfires spreading in Spokane, Washington. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says that they have now arrested 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci for arson in connection with a series of blazes burning in that area. The fires have now destroyed at least 700 structures and forced more than 60,000 people to evacuate. Closer to home, it is primary day today in Virginia. Among the notable races on the ballot, Republicans will select the challenger to face off against incumbent Democratic Senator Mark Warner in November. Democrats will also choose who will advance in several competitive U.S. House primaries. Polls open just a few hours from now. 6 a.m. will run open until 7 p.m. We'll have more in a live report coming up in our next half hour. On Capitol Hill, the Senate overwhelmingly advancing a bipartisan stopgap funding bill that will keep the government running through December 11th. That measure also temporarily blocking a White House proposal to give political appointees final say over scientific grants. Senators hope to pass that bill before going on a month-long recess at the end of the week. The House would then have to take up that bill when it returns in September. The Senate Judiciary Committee could vote to advance Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche's nomination this week. Two key Republicans changed course on threatening to block Blanche's AG nomination. Tom Tillis and John Cornyn vowing not to advance it until President Trump's so-called anti-weaponization fund was dead. On Sunday night, Blanche rescinded that order. Now to the latest in the war with Iran. President Trump says he expects to soon learn more about the status of negotiations with Tehran. Yesterday, he told reporters an update could likely come today. The president has played this hand before during this 5-month war, but he insists this time is different, saying new talks between the countries are, quote, the last chance to make a deal and avoid an escalation. However, critics see that Trump is reaching for a reset button as a growing pattern. 25 states, including Maryland and Virginia, suing to stop the president's new tariffs. The group claims that the White House is trying to replace the import taxes struck down by the Supreme Court. President Trump announced double-digit tariffs on nearly 60 countries last month, claiming they are not doing enough about imports produced by forced labor. All right, let's get back outside. Take our first look out the door this morning out towards National Harbor. And most of us waking up to light 70s, I guess, lower 70s, I should say, across the region this morning.
Yeah, it's not that bad outside because the humidity is not as elevated as how we kicked off this work week or what's to come for later in the week as well. So enjoy a little bit of a break. Temperatures yesterday actually topped out in the upper 80s, which is actually near average for this time of year. Today will be near that, maybe a couple degrees just shy of it, though. 75 degrees breeze with winds out of the north and east. That's going to bring in some onshore flow, which will also eventually mix in some cloud coverage as we get into the afternoon and through this evening. Here's a live look at the temperatures right now. We're in the low to mid 70s. We'll check in across the area. We have some 60s popping up north and west. Regardless, it feels a little bit better compared to Monday morning. Here's a live look at radar. We're mainly keeping things dry. It looks like we do have some activity kind of brewing over the southern portions of the bay down towards extreme southern Maryland, lower eastern shore right there. Otherwise, things are looking fairly quiet for today and quieter than how we kicked off the week. So the rest of today, here's how it shapes up. Should be mainly dry. We'll mix in some clouds, low 80s around noon today, mid 80s by 5 p.m. Humidity climbs tomorrow, along with the chance for some showers and storms. So, of course, we'll talk more about that coming up. Jacqueline?
All right, Taylor, thank you. Let's take a look at the roads here this morning, and our traffic maps are showing us some construction on the outer loop in Cabin John area this morning, right between the Clara Barton Parkway and GW Parkway. They are starting to pick it up right now. They are in the clearing stages from the left lanes, but you are seeing about 7 minutes when it comes to slowdowns as you drive through that work zone. The fallout over the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool case growing this morning. The U.S. Attorney's Office for D.C. has now dropped the vandalism charges against 4 people. That includes a former Olympian, which has led to sharp criticism from President Trump. Our Maureen Ume live on the National Mall with the latest in this case. Maureen, good morning.
Good morning to you. Yeah, what started as a vandalism investigation has now turned into a very public dispute between President Trump and his top prosecutor here in Washington, D.C. Here's where the latest developments stand right now is that the U.S. Attorney's Office has now dropped charges against 3 more people connected to the reflecting pool case. That comes just days after prosecutors dropped the case against former Olympian David Hearn, saying that evidence showed that the damage was linked to problems with the pool's installation and not criminal vandalism. President Trump has repeatedly rejected that conclusion, saying that vandals were responsible for damaging the newly renovated reflecting pool. On Monday, he accused U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro of, quote, choking and folding like an umbrella after her office moved to dismiss the cases. Now, just hours later, Pirro was seen arriving at the White House for a meeting with the president. Now, neither the White House nor Pirro's office has publicly described what was discussed, and there has been no announcement about her future.
Jeanine Pirro made a mistake. There was vandalism. Really disappointed with Jeanine Pirro. She folded like an umbrella. I guess she choked. I don't know what the hell happened.
I didn't charge anything harshly. I charge according to the evidence.
Now, questions still remain about what was discussed at the White House and what will be of Jeanine Pirro's future in that office as top prosecutor here in D.C. As for David Hearn, his lawyers are saying that they do plan to proceed with legal action against the government in getting a restitution for what he has endured during this whole ordeal. That's the latest for now. More details at the top of the next hour. Back to you.
Maureen, thank you. A developing story this morning, an attempted traffic stop in D.C. turned into a police chase into Silver Spring. This happened just before 9 o'clock last night. U.S. Park Police say 4 people were riding in a stolen vehicle. During that pursuit, the driver lost control and hit a tree on Gloucester Knoll Drive. Police say 1 person tried to run away and get rid of a gun. All 4 people were arrested. No injuries were reported. A 16-year-old boy shot and killed Prince William County. Police looking for the person who shot and killed a 16-year-old boy at an illegal car rally. This happened on Crossing Place in Woodbridge. The victim later died at a hospital. Detectives still working to determine what led to the shooting and asking anyone with information to come forward. Now, this was one of 3 illegal car meets across the region over the weekend, including a Prince George's County one where a woman was shot on Beaver Road. Today in D.C., a status hearing will be held for the teens charged in the viral Navy Yard Chipotle brawl. A judge previously said the teens complied with every court order, but they must remain at home with their parents. The teens are now facing several charges, including assault charges. The 17-year-old accused of shooting a 13-year-old inside of Wheaton Mall being held without bond. That shooting happened Friday night near an indoor playground at the mall. Diego Rafael Tercios Avalos charged as an adult but being held at a juvenile facility. Prosecutors say they do not know whether that victim was targeted. Police departments across the DMV taking part in the National Night Out campaign this week. The event held on the first Tuesday in August. The goal is to promote positive community partnerships. Some neighborhoods have block parties while others have cookouts that are planned. We'll be speaking with Alexandria's police chief later this morning in our 8 o'clock hour. You can check the Fox local app for a full list of events happening around the region. Well, a special celebration will happen today at the National Zoo. It is Bao Li's 5th birthday. The zoo throwing him a shark-themed party, complete with a panda-friendly cake made with some of his favorite foods. Surely bamboo involved in that as well. The celebration open to the public starting at 9 a.m., but timed entry passes are required. Well, just days before the Freedom 250 Grand Prix in D.C., some big changes are coming their way. Still ahead, plans to expand that historic race. Plus, an attempted burglary at a local bar, all caught on camera. What police say they tried to make off with, and reaction from the bar's owner.